Hello, and welcome to more of Colorado with mines, hot springs, and some animals, with Flight of the Crow's Wing and the Backroad Capers.
James and I have been traveling for the last month with our friend Jay. We are continuing our search for adventure in southwest Colorado, starting outside of Mancos. Jay had been wanting to see some old mines. We decided a good place to start would be the nearby Tomahawk Mine. On the way there, we stopped and photographed the Basin Creek waterfalls. The trail consists of walking up the old access road up to the mine. The road was only a little rough. We probably could have driven it, but we needed our exercise, and it's fun to hike anyways.
We discovered the hike to this mine by using our go-to app, the All Trails app.
James and I hiked halfway down the trail to take photographs of the waterfall. Jay hiked the whole way down to the bottom.
It's a long climb back up, Jay.
When hiking in hilly terrain, remember to never hike down further than you're willing to hike up.
You made it back. What'd you think?
Nice.
Even if you don't care about old mines, the views alone make this hike worthwhile.
This is elkweed, also known as the weed of elk.
Not really. Nearing the mine, we deviated off the trail so that we could approach it from down below. The slope didn't look that steep from down there.
No, you would have been down there anyway, so what's the diff?
On the climb up, we definitely questioned our decision.
Yeah, but just look at the view!
It is amazing.
Large wheel, J for scale. Mountain for scale.
About 10,500 feet up and getting ready to have lunch. This is what happens to your Cheetos.
Hello of cheesiness!
They are ready to explode.
There were waterfalls like everywhere you looked. All in all, we hiked 3.1 miles, gained 802 feet in elevation, and averaged 1.1 miles an hour.
According to Google, that's about the average speed of a penguin.
How much further to the mine?
I don't know, just shut up and keep waddling.
It's not the destination, it's the journey.
Problem. Trees blocking view of waterfall. Solution. Try not to die.
I decided to not attempt the climb down to the bottom and just took my pictures with the tree in the way. It's nature after all, and it's all beautiful. Of course, some people just can't stand beautiful things without leaving their own marks. This time, in marker on this rock. And on the way back to camp, we saw this fluffy-tailed critter.
Marmot or woodchuck?
And we saw some beautiful blue wildflowers. One could even say they were beautiful.
Colorado Blue Columbine. The next day, we moved camp to the Turkey Springs dispersed camping area outside of Pagosa Springs, and we found this campsite. We named it the Cow Skull Site. And for dinner, we had this beautiful ensemble of food. The steaks and brie made it delicious.
The fruit was to make it look healthier. Jay really wanted to go visit some hot springs, so we set off on the West Fork Trailhead. This trail takes you past the Rainbow Falls and to the Rainbow Hot Springs along the West Fork River.
This pretty plant has the beautiful name of Schuler's Fumort.
Ah yes, Fumort. So pretty.
Having fun yet?
Yes.
You can tell by the look on my face. The trail passed through the Weminuche Wilderness.
Look at the pretty lilies.
Jay keeps making fun of my plant identifications.
Really?
Roses. They're roses, Beth.
Okay.
Learn your plants. You can tell because there's multiple flowers per one plant.
That's not what I told you. It's
Damn.
leaves. Look at the leaves.
He knows as much about flowers as I do about tires.
Woods Rose.
The trail goes through quite a few miles of burned out woods that are in a process of recovery and crosses several streams on well-built wooden bridges.
And this is the Rainbow Falls.
The springs are not too far past the falls. They're a little bit tough to find and did require some scouting down over the hill, but eventually we found this set of pools.
Jay's first hot springs in Colorado.
Ah,
Good?
perfect. Other than, being slimy.
What do you think?
Nice.
How is it?
Go! And then my calves hurt right now. Like sting hurt.
It is ice cold, isn't
It
it?
is ice cold. Oh, so much better. This is the right picture.
Jay is always trying to get on the good side of his favorite YouTubers and Instagrammers. What happens when you follow the wild crow down dusty roads? Do we need to pick you up a new one?
Good as new.
And feeding
Cheeseburgers!
with
Bacon.
We decided to move camp one more time and headed up to Ironton, Colorado. Next to our campsite was an abandoned auto repair garage.
It was a good campsite, its main drawbacks being that it didn't have any cell service and it was kind of close to the road, but, you know, it was free.
Another attraction of this campsite is the proximity of things to see, like the Beaver and Belfast mines, the Ironton Ghost Town, Colorado Boy Mine, and Corkscrew Gulch.
We started off exploring the abandoned service station next to our campsite. Then we crossed the highway to go visit the Belfast and Beaver mines. A sign along the trail told about the history of the area, about how Ironton supported about 1,000 residents with waterworks and a fire department. The mines we were presently visiting did not have a lot of support structures as they were so close to town. What do we see?
A pipe and tailings, and that's it.
Well, we climbed all the way up here.
Totally worth it. Totally worth seeing a pipe sticking out of the ground.
But look at this majestic view, unencumbered by trees.
That little piggy says ow.
Don't worry, it'll feel better once it stops hurting.
We next explored the Ironton Ghost Town.
Ironton was founded in 1883. Over 100 buildings were constructed that year alone. Its early population fluctuated from 200 people during the winter to around 1,000 in the summer. It serviced the silver mine of the Red Mountain District. In 1889, the Silverton Railroad was completed, connecting the Ironton Valley and Silverton, decreasing the shipping cost of the silver ore. By 1890, it had a permanent population of 350. With its planked sidewalks, many saloons and brothels, a schoolhouse, 2 churches, a waterworks, and an electric plant. In 1890, the U.S. Congress passed the Sherman Silver Purchase Act that required the U.S. government to buy 4.5 million ounces of silver per month. That's 140 metric tons. This fortuitously matched the total output of all the western silver mines. Disaster struck with the repeal of the act in October of 1893, which caused an overnight plunge in the silver prices. Within months, the town's population had declined, and by the late 1890s, most of the mines on Red Mountain had closed. By 1910, Ironton had a population of only 26 people.
Weird. No!
They say this is what happens when you don't eat enough fiber.
That's funny.
There was a crooked man. He walked a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence against a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in their little crooked house.
According to the USD government website, the Colorado Boy Mine is one of only 3 intact vertical mine shaft house structures in the Red Mountain Mining District. It It was opened in the late 1880s, but was never a big producer. It did produce this beautiful building that we can come visit, and it also produced a couple of really deep holes in the ground. This one, which is the mine shaft, and also another one, which is the entrance, which has stairs that lead down into darkness, and it's scary.
Is the wire fencing to keep people from climbing in, or things from climbing up?
In Ironton, we could see a structure spanning the nearby Corkscrew Gulch, so we had to go hike up to see exactly what it was. It turned out that it was a suspension bridge, which in its day was the longest one in Colorado. It carried a slurry pipe from the upper mines down to a slurry pit down in the valley. The slurry pipe was composed of long wooden staves that were held in place by a spiral of steel wire. Remnants of this type of pipe can be seen throughout several sites in Colorado. A short distance down the road from our campsite, there is a marshy area that seems to be a favorite place for a moose. We were lucky enough when we were heading into Ouray one afternoon to see a pair of them. So these would be meese, goose, geese, moose, meese. Sorry, English, I don't make the rules. I just break them.
The road from Ironton down into Ouray is called the $1 Million Highway. Despite the $1 Million views, it was actually named for its cost to construct per mile. It's too bad they didn't spend just a little extra money to install guardrails, which would make it a little less terrifying, especially if you're the passenger heading up out of town.
What are you doing, dear?
Jacking up the truck
Why are you doing that?
because I gotta fix the tire.
What's wrong with your tire?
It's got a nail in it. I think driving around Ghost Town you wouldn't pick up any nails. They should be ghost nails. But they're not. They're real nails.
If you have any mechanical ability and you own a vehicle with tires, you should have a tire plug kit.
There it is.
These are relatively inexpensive and can be easy to use. Or if you're like me, you can make it look a lot more difficult than it is. I purchased this kit at Walmart like a bazillion years ago. I've used it about a half a dozen times over the years. Twice on this truck,
worry about our
and the
content.
rest of the time on other people's
I'm not.
cars.
I might need to get the drill out though.
The process involves finding and removing the offending nail, screw, or other punctuator. Then you remount the hole with the reamer and insert a sticky tire plug that once inserted is trimmed flush with the tire tread. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Don't jinx yourself, or it might end up being tiring, requiring much perspiring.
You can't tell from this scene, but I've done this before several times. This tire was a fighter.
We could have edited this to make it look like it was easy, but sometimes things aren't easy. But what are you gonna do? You just gotta keep on doing.
Ready?
Heh. Tire repair is a tag team sport.
Still off.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to.
a tough tire.
That's a very tough tire. These Cooper Discovery ST Max Pros are an amazingly tough tire. They would never be defeated by a little nail.
No, but they'll stop you from trying to patch it.
Ugh.
Yay! After the tire repair, Jay decided to go on a bike ride. James and I decided to go explore a low mountain pass on the other side of Ouray, Owl Creek Pass. We drove up and down the mountain roads, just looking to see what we could see. A friend of ours calls this tootling. I think it's a good name for it.
On our way back from this high elevation pass, we saw a herd of elk along the side of the road and had to stop and take their pictures because of the babies. What do you call a baby elk?
An elkling?
An elklet?
Guess we need to Google that.
Oh, it's actually just a calf.
Babies are running around playing. Oh my god. Look at them playing. Oh my gosh. Alright, stop. Just stop. Turn the truck off. No, thank you.
When we saw the elk herd, we rolled down the windows to start filming them, and the mosquitoes immediately started flying into the truck. In hindsight, I don't think the babies were playing. I think they were running away from the mosquitoes.
We need to leave. It's getting worse.
Which is what we did. This was delicious. Thank you for not leaving yet.
And remember to always obey the law of gravity. Oh no, my friend!
And if you liked this video, please share if you like, and subscribe if you like, and most importantly, like if you like.
Goodbye.